Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I want to give you a lesson on the Takeda. So for those of you who don't know what the Takeda is a relatively new drum that's entirely made out of bamboo. It's actually what Takeda translates to from Japanese. It translates to bamboo, or is bamboo. A note to its construction. And its history. This used to be a bamboo shoot when it was first invented by John Kaizan Neptune, who's an ethnomusicologist from California who studied shakuhachis and became one of the leading figures of jazz shakuhachi, which is an incredibly in-depth genre, surprisingly. It's pretty nice. He had the inspiration of creating this instrument when he wanted to make an entire band out of bamboo instruments. He took inspiration from things like udu, like Indian percussion from both the north and the south, to create this instrument that he called the Takeda. And I've been lucky enough to have the opportunity to work with the head of the company, the creator's son, David Neptune, into finding ways of teaching and perpetuating this instrument, since it's admittedly a lot of fun. Today, I would like to cover a few different grooves that would sound great on the instrument, and also how we can learn those grooves as well through a pretty special system. It's not very unique. It's shared among many world cultures, but I've been in development of this system both in collaboration with David Neptune and on my own, of finding a way of speaking all the things that you can play on the Takeda. So a few of the sounds that I would like to introduce today are some of the bass sounds and some of the sounds that we can make on either one of the bamboo heads of the instrument. So for instance, this first sound is don. It's our hand covering the bass note, and we lift it off with a curve up. We can lift it off like this, but we don't get the cool pitch bend that comes with doing that. Our next sound that we'll introduce is we play it on the high head, and this is called ka, where we hit with our fingers on the center of the head. So we can pair this with a or a split finger technique with the hand of ka and da. Ka, da, ka, da, ka, da, ka, da. So that's K-A-R-A. Ka, da. We have ka and da. And up here we have ta. So ta is a different sound than ka. So we have ta, ta da ta da ta da ta da, ka da ka da ka da ka da. So we have don, ta, and da. Now when ka is after don, we actually pronounce it ga, G-A, dongara, 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 dongara. Because dongara is a lot easier to pronounce than dongara. Dongara, 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 dongara versus dongara, 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 dongara. Dongara is a lot easier to say with flow. And that's the most important part of being able to speak these, is being able to flow with them. So we have don, ka, ra, and ta, ra. And on this side, we have tom. So dom and tom. On this side, we have ke. Instead of ka, it's ke. And instead of ta, it's te. So you have ke, de, and dom. Dom, dom, ke, de, te, de. ka, ra, ta, ra. So now let's use all of that to learn our first groove on the Takeda. So I call it dongara tekara teka, dongara tekara teka, dongara tekara teka, dongara tekara teka. So I'm going don, gara, te, gara, te, ka, back to don, gara, te, gara, te, ka. Let's do that together for about 30 seconds, maybe a little less. Don, let's see if we can't take this a little faster. Let's try grooving with it for a little bit. About dongara tekara teka, dongara tekara teka, dongara tekara teka, dongara tekara teka, dongara tekara teka. So you can take these grooves at many different speeds, and it almost makes it sound like different grooves. But you can still speak them with the sounds, with the Takeda talk. So a variation on that groove involves a new sound, and this new sound is called takedake. And takedake is just when we have a two-handed split hand technique, which I would call a two-handed split hand roll. So that goes take, take, goes take, take, so take, take, and it can go with either hand as well. It can go take or take. But that's the spoken form, is take. So a version of this can be dongara tekara takedake, dongara tekara takedake. So a third variation of this groove will introduce a new word into our Takeda talk language. So instead of don, we're going to pair don with a new sound on this head. We're going to pair this with what we call da. So we're going to call that dwa. Doa, dwa. And we can prepare for that doa do by keeping our hand here first and then bass out here. So now we have dwagara tekara teka, dwagara tekara teka. It is asking a lot from your right hand though, so you might want to keep up your right hand chops in order to get that. Another variation that we can add is dongarate tomkereka, dongarate tomkereka. It looks like dongarate tomkereka, dongarate tomkereka. So these are just a few different variations of this that you can use. And I introduced a few new words into here too that we could learn to speak. Now we can actually string together these grooves to create almost an entire song. We could make a longer extended groove out of the 4. So if we have our, for instance, if I were to string with I can now have a groove with a variation in it, and now it's twice as long. Now I have I can throw in doa, as I have the chops for it in some instances. So if I wanted to make a much longer groove, let's say if I want to make a 4-section groove, I could have and you can do this in any order. You can also change when you play takedake as well, if there's a time where it's more convenient. You could maybe throw in something on this side, maybe a little. Well, that's letting you in on a secret for future lessons. This is a sound that we'll cover in the future. But you can get creative with it. You can take any combination of these sounds, these little vocables, you could put them together and put it into a groove, or you could just let the instrument give you ideas, and you could go from there. It's quite versatile. I hope you learned a little bit about the Takeda language, about Takeda talk, how to speak the language of this instrument, and how to play a few grooves that sound pretty good on this instrument. Dongarate karateka. So I hope you enjoyed, and looking forward to seeing you at the next one.